on. I know you have a soft spot.
Do you guys think that this is like sort of a two-parter question? That me and Andrew are misogynists.
Dating?
Yes.
Circle jerking under the table.
Are we in a... okay, never mind. Do you think me and Andrew... So you could say yes for Brian, no for Andrew, no for... do you think we're misogynists, starting with you?
Maybe yes.
Okay, maybe yes. Okay, I'll take that.
I think specifically you've been vocal that you haven't been saying women can't do these things, but this is just an objective truth. So I wouldn't say that you guys are misogynists.
Okay.
I would just say
You can tell
that,
us how you really feel. It's
No,
okay.
I'm agreeing. I just don't. I don't. I'm so sorry. I just don't know how much support you would actually give women in your daily life. I would need to get to know you to know that.
How much? Just curious. How much support do you give to men?
In my daily life, I mean, I don't interact with a lot of men. So when I'm interacting with them, then of course, I'll give support. But, I don't know. But I just don't know you guys. So that's what I'm saying is I don't know you.
Do you think me and Andrew are misogynists?
I also don't know y'all well enough. But I mean, based off of like the current conversation, I don't think so. Sure. I think you've put a lot of hypotheticals out, potentially just playing like devil's advocate. Yeah. But I mean, I don't think that makes you guys necessarily misogynist.
What about you?
I think that some of the statements both of you have made throughout the last 6 or 7 hours have come across as misogynistic to me. However, I don't know either of you well enough to label you as that as a human being. But I think I have some viewpoints that could be misogynist. I think we all have some viewpoints that might be racist or misogynistic or anything. That doesn't mean you as a human being are that at your core, though.
Okay.
But
So this is shocking coming from me because I actually feel like we throw that around way too much and guys who don't deserve it. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you guys are.
Okay. All right. What about you?
Same thing. I feel like I don't know you guys well enough to know if you're misogynist. I also don't really like throw that term like easily, so I'd say no.
No. You?
I don't know you guys, but I know that you're not misogynist because I am. So.
Okay, that was an interesting one. So
that.
wait, going back,
A lot of women have
going back to you, just so we can make sure we're talking about the same thing. How do you define misogyny?
Thinking that women are lesser than you.
Okay.
Hating women.
Hating women.
Wanting to treat us differently just because we're women, or you think we lack the brain capacity or any of the physical skills to do anything any other human is capable of.
Well, then I do, if that's the definition, then the one part of it of want to treat women differently, then I would fall into that part of that definition for sure.
Because he believes in chivalry.
I'm sure.
Well, no, that's not why, but okay. We'll go with that.
Let's get definitions. So your definition of misogyny, since you were pretty
Clear about it. Yeah, if you look it up, one of the keywords is contempt. So what you said, like a contempt or hate for women.
So which one? Is it the contempt or the hate part?
They're intertwined.
They're synonyms.
Contempt.
Well,
Let's
it's a bit
associate it
different.
for all intents and purposes. Contempt.
I suppose you can have contempt for somebody without hating them, but okay, so...
Are these, by the way, these individualistic definitions? Meaning, what if you just have contempt and hate for one woman?
Porn stars.
Is that okay? Is that misogyny? Or does it need to be spread over the pool of women?
Spread over women. I'll say it again, women.
Yeah.
I know we were.
So does it need to be spread over women?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
As a group.
Okay. So I support
Of course,
five.
hating one man.
So I support 5 women.
Woo. That's awesome. Good for you.
How many men?
I'm proud of
How many
you.
men do you support?
I have some amazing men in my life.
Yeah. How many men do you support?
Mr. Raising Eyebrows.
How
is
many
all
men do you support?
Supported countless men.
Financially?
Yeah.
It's none of your business.
0.
You're dating a 60-year-old?
Uh-huh.
Curious where you guys are going with this.
I'm just asking, how many men do you support?
None. I don't have any kids, and
Yeah.
I'm.
It's really
with a
interesting that the
boyfriend, so-
misogynist over here is supporting all the damn women, and the not misogynist over there not doing much for the men. Just saying.
But I would
'Cause I'm
argue
not
that
paying
we
for
support
them.
each other, and we don't. We're not taking.
I'm not
care
even
of
gonna
men
engage 'cause
by
that's so
men.
silly.
Like I'm not taken care of by men. She took care of me.
Yeah,
when
but you
I
didn't call me a
didn't.
misogynist, right?
No, I didn't. But
Why is it just monetary? That's just. It's not even.
Well, I just think it's interesting.
Extracting something again.
Why, because you said it has to be applied
obscure.
over women in general. So
That's
this would
right,
apply
for
to the fact that
women.
since I have 4 daughters and a wife at home, that I must be a fucking monster who hates them.
I would hope not. I agree with these women. I don't know. I don't know enough
Not
about you,
necessarily
but
a
from what
monster that hates them,
but from
but-
what you've described in this conversation over
Definitely don't
infinity, is what I sense is just a genuine superiority of men over women. Like I haven't heard you say other than procreate like one.
Positive thing about.
I'm sorry, I gave you an entire ontological argument for why women were necessary that Brian couldn't even give. I gave an entire
take care of children.
I actually gave you an ontological syllogism for why women are necessary in society. Can you do that for men for me real quick? Can you give me an ontological
you guys don't know-
syllogism?
Okay.
For
I've
why we
supported
need men?
in society from the beginning of this.
So why do we
channel.
need men?
I love men.
Why do we need them?
Wait, no, you don't. You love men?
Brian, I've
Really?
said it. Oh, I get it. Because I've said it like 3 times. Just making sure it's clear.
Yeah, so anyway, I gave
said
an
you-
actual ontological argument for why we need women. Literally. I don't know where you came up with this idea.
I just think, I don't know. I'd have to know more. I'd love to know more. But you don't believe in chivalry. Like I said, it just seems like you have these underlying. It's just toxic. Like
just
women are.
wait, it's
second-class.
toxic to not believe
But
in
it's
chivalry.
prove me wrong.
Hold on, wait. Let me ask you a
just
question.
because you have daughters, I hope that they're, awesome, and you raising them, but just so that proves okay. Like, what is that?
There's a lot of
Wait.
shitty people.
You
with
could still be a
children.
massage. It just doesn't.
Wait,
It doesn't.
So is it? You said it's toxic to not be chivalrous?
No. I said no. I was saying you're just what you've said throughout this. Your behavior is.
It's toxic. Is it toxic
toxic.
masculinity?
Again, you would.
Toxic
I'd be the
superiority.
last person because I have men's backs all the time. I've had some of our society's biggest label misogynists come on to like state their case and have their back of why they're not. And it's unfortunate. It's out there. I have to say, even the comments in here and just how you guys are, it's it's a little toxic. And I hate that because it's such a buzzy word and it's so whatever has lost its weight. And I debunk it all of the time, but. Again, prove me wrong. It's like I just
Okay,
feel like
I'll
you
prove you
think
wrong.
women are second
I
class. Like, it's pretty apparent.
I think
Sad.
that
It's like
the reason
Andrew
you're
Tate thing.
embracing the buzzword of misogyny and toxicity is because we dared disagree with you and you're a pampered princess.
That's again your
Yeah.
opinion.
So I think you're a misandrist.
I have people who
right? You're a
disagree.
misandrist.
Wait, did you pick the bear?
No, I
she picked
said
the
so
man.
many times I would not going to pretend for 5 fucking seconds to fight off
I think
a
that
bear.
men who dare disagree with women, especially you, are just kind of labeled
My
as
boyfriend
bad.
disagrees and goes toe to toe and
Your
challenges
boyfriend lets
me.
you flirt with other dudes. What are you talking about? He's the most
And
permissive
he's
motherfucker I've ever heard
so much more
of.
a man than you'll ever be. That's neither here nor there. He
Man,
challenges
So
me.
much more of a man. He lets you go with
Right,
other
'cause he is
dudes.
a
What?
man. He's not threatened.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
what a
gonna
man
defend
does.
him, dude. Whatever.
Ooh, that's
he
what a man
challenges.
is.
Not gonna. Whatever. He challenges and goes toe to toe with me all the time. I don't need to be coddled like a princess.
You sure seem like
But he's
you do.
also not a misogynist. He
Then I'll tell-
honors and respects
then if
women
I'm
as
wrong-
his equal. In fact, like empowers
Okay.
women in ways he's opened my eyes.
Then
to.
if I'm wrong, give me an actual example of anything I've said which is misogynistic, a single one.
That women can't do anything.
You've said
a man
society
can.
would completely be destroyed if it were left to women.
Yes.
This is like a fucking fever dream.
It literally, I feel like
Wait,
Why would that
hold
be a
on.
misogynistic
I've seen
statement?
it all. I'm like on acid
Because
right
you don't
now.
think we can do.
But-
Okay.
Yeah, but I gave an evidence.
your
I'm not even.
opinion.
I feel like I'm
Well,
on
no,
acid.
no, no,
I'm
no.
not even.
I gave an
No,
evidence.
Is anything real?
opinion.
I gave
Is
an-
anything real?
I gave an
Are we here?
evidenced reasoned argument. An evidenced reasoned argument for why I think that
Andrew.
absent men, society would collapse.
You talk about porn stars like they're trash and worthless.
Men and women.
Okay.
And I
He
think
didn't say
bigoted
that.
narcissists.
Okay. He didn't.
How
first
you
off-
think about me is how I think about you in the moment.
Great, men and
Because
women,
You
right?
advocate
You
for
may
the
think
patriarchy. You
I
advocate
deserve
for women
nothing,
to
I have
not
no
be.
value.
I mean, it's just
I didn't say anything
apparent.
about you not having value.
Okay, you advocate for your
So do
all
Do you agree
by
I
the
have value?
Hang
I
on.
think all human beings have ontological value.
Okay, so me being a porn star, you think that takes away from my value as a person, my morals, my being,
Well, it takes
my
away from your morals, yeah.
Okay.
Does
Does
it make?
in your opinion.
I'm trying to answer your
right?
question.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you're not a valuable human being. Mm-hmm. Okay.
thanks.
Well, I would love to see you reform from being a corn star. I mean, you're probably not going to, but
Nope.
I'd love to see it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it compromises your morals for sure. But I wouldn't apply that to you because you're a woman. I would apply that to you because you're a corn star. Has nothing to do with you being a woman.
Okay, you've talked about fighting for the patriarchy. You talked about feminism.
She's
Has not
So
been
did you.
perfect.
You
has
said
had
that you
its
like
faults.
patriarchy. Does that make you?
No, I never said that.
Yes,
Come
you
on.
did.
Okay.
Does that make you a
I never
misogynist?
said that.
You did.
You talk about the downsides of women, I don't know, being fully realized fucking individuals after feminism. Being, it's like it's a that, and in that way it's apparent to me. But if that's not misogyny to you, then
I'm
you don't
sorry,
have to
you
literally
can't
be a
fully
women
embrace your
beater.
sexuality
No.
in a safe and healthy
You
fun
said,
way.
as somebody who
You
thinks
choose to
women are
fucking
lesser or hates women, I want an example of how you can demonstrate that I think women are lesser
Okay, I'm
or
gonna
that I
explain
hate
it.
them.
I just explained. You can hit rewind. How women are lesser.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, women can't maintain a society. You've propped up the jerked
Not
up to
modern
the patriarchy.
society.
Okay, how you've debunked and said what is everything wrong. Again,
wait,
feminism has
hold
not
on.
been
Can I
perfect.
come
It's
in?
gone
Sure.
too
Can I
far
come
in
in
some
really
ways.
quick? Okay.
He's going
Hold on.
against
Wait,
women
but
being
hold on.
in the work, all
Just
kinds
so
of
we're
stuff.
clear,
Being
so going-
individuals outside of Betty Crocker, fucking in the Stepford wife.
Look, we
in
got
the
to
house.
address points one at a time. If you're just going to like list off like a million different things, look, so okay,
Keep up.
specifically on the argument of what would happen if all men disappeared immediately and women didn't have any opportunity to be able to learn the ways in which,
Parade.
huh?
Nothing. Go ahead.
No, what did you say?
I said I'd throw a parade.
Yeah.
That's how that story started.
Yeah.
Throw a parade. So
That is how the
Look,
story started.
can we all agree on one thing? You might disagree with the outcome here. Would you guys be prepared to agree? And I could show you like the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I could show you the representation of men who are in infrastructure jobs. If it's the case that say like over 90% of men in like critical infrastructure jobs, the types of jobs that really keep society running when it comes to the electrical grid, when it comes to waste management, when it comes to sewage, when it comes to water, when it comes to all this stuff, when it comes to telecoms, etc. Will you at least grant me that it's 90% men? It's probably more, but let's just say it's 90% men.
It is 90% men, but it's men's fault that it's 90% men
It's
because
not men's-
society was
it's
set up
not.
to.
Well, just
until
assume-
very
just-
recently,
hold on,
women
just
were even
assume.
allowed to
They
do
don't
those
care.
jobs.
We'll just
It wasn't
assume.
our choice that we
Nothing
weren't
is
allowed to do those
precluding-
jobs.
hold on.
It's your guys' choice, so we wouldn't have that
Nothing
choice.
is precluding women from entering these fields.
Nowadays, but
Okay, we're talking about now. We're talking about now.
But even nowadays, what
It's
is
due to
precluding them is the
women's choice.
mechanic
We're just going to
examples.
grant for a
Like
second.
women are still
Yes, we'll grant
treated
it.
like shit in those
Fine,
places
then
so
let's
much to the
we'll
point
just
that
grant
they're
it.
like,
Well-
I'd rather be an esthetician because people don't treat me like shit.
Agreed. So we'll just grant for a second that
Fine.
this is that
We'll
it's,
grant
that it's
all of that.
that it's men's fault that women are not in those roles. Fair enough.
At this moment in time, there are more men in that
Right.
field. That's,
So
if you're
if
wanting
we
that, then
acknowledge that,
that's-
if it's
yeah.
90%
Yeah.
men, 95% men, and these are the men who are, for example, that they're in the job when anybody here been around when there's like a blackout?
Not here.
Okay.
Not here,
I mean,
but, I mean, I've been
yes.
in,
I don't know if you've
Ohio.
ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've
It's
ever
horrible,
seen like
yeah.
if there's a power line that's out and it's 3 a.m. It's men who are going to fix that in the middle of winter when it's snowing and there's a hailstorm. It's men who are going to go out and fix that, right?
Unless
So-
you're Nina.
right. Okay.
Unless you're Nina.
So granting all this, granting that 95% of men take up these occupations, how could it just be, how is it wrong to say that if it's the men that would fix these systems, electrical grid, sewage, waste, water, everything, telecoms, whatever it may be, if it was the men who occupy those jobs, if they all disappeared, like, why is it wrong to say that if they all disappeared, those systems would collapse?
Go, baby.
Would they
Yeah,
not?
go, baby,
Would
go.
they not collapse? Would
No,
they not collapse?
I think I'm agreeing with what you're saying is we're taking all the information we have right in this current moment. And if that were to happen,
Yes.
and no one figured okay, that maybe could happen. But my question is, why are we trying to imagine a world without men?
Well, so
Like, why
I'll-
is that the issue?
Yes, I'll answer the question.
Yeah.
So I would concede on the other end, the flip side, that there's women who are in things like childcare, nursing occupations, things like this. If they all disappeared tomorrow, I can show you crisis after crisis that men would have to scramble to solve.
Yeah, 100%.
We're just saying that societal infrastructure itself is not going to completely collapse. How that could ever be a misogynistic statement, I don't know. But the reason that we're trying to dive into this is because, again, to explain it again, I run into delusion constantly, where it's, no, I don't believe that that would be a problem. No, I do think that we would be just fine. No, I don't think that there would be significant problems. That's a delusional take, which then I can take to kind of get to the heart of those issues. So, okay, if it's built on this false belief, where did we come up with that false belief? That's why it's important.
No, I understand, but I guess my next question is how do you know what's delusional or not? What is your objective truth? Where does that come from?
Well, and if I may just jump in really quick, the reason that we actually provided this scenario of if all men disappeared, women didn't have some like foreknowledge of it coming,
Yeah.
it just instantly happened. When we asked you, do you need men? A lot of you said, no, don't need them. Don't even need them for my survival.
Right.
Well, I mean, despite us presenting evidence that you actually do you still just...
Can I chime in really
I
quick?
stand
I
by
agree
that.
with you that based on the way that society is functioning right now, you're right. If you guys all randomly disappeared, probably the power grid would go out and stuff like that because 90% of those jobs are held by men in the first place. However, this is where it becomes misogynistic to me, is I do believe that you're right. Maybe initially there would be some sort of chaotic collapse. Things wouldn't be working out. But what I believe wholeheartedly is that women have the ability to learn, train themselves, and use tools to be able to accomplish those jobs. So maybe there would be a lull where we're fucked for a little bit because everyone needs to catch up. But I strongly believe that women put their heads together and teach each other and learn. Yeah, you're right. I might not be strong enough, but like I ran the produce department at Trader Joe's and I was the first woman in 10 years to do so. I was using a Big Joe jack. Do you think I was lifting pallets alone?
Mm-hmm.
No, but I learned how to operate machinery so that I could move those pallets by myself at 3 a.m. every morning, and I was the first woman in 10 years to do so.
Can I just rebut
So
this a little
the
bit?
fact that you think I can't learn
But-
is what's
but-
misogynistic.
so,
Not that
okay.
I don't know it right now,
Can I
but
ask
you
you a
believe I
question?
can't
Never
figure it out.
disputed that
So-
ever.
So, are you
Society
familiar with
would,
this?
would
Hold on.
not collapse
But
if we had the
hold on.
ability to learn and fix it.
But hold on. Let me just say one thing. Are you familiar with the term point of no return?
Yes, of course.
So you say if we can learn. I'm telling you, within days, the telecommunication system down, internet down. You wouldn't have the internet. You wouldn't have like the means to go like internet down within days, electricity down within days. Like where you can't just go to a library and pick up a book, a physical book.
Riddle me this though. What about at the beginning of time when men, they didn't know how to make a fire? Wait, let me talk. Men didn't know how to make a fire, and did they have the internet to teach them? No, maybe one group of men learned in this small village to make a fire. Men on the other side of the world also kind of figured out how to make
It's
a fire.
interesting you
and
assume it's
eventually
men.
we all figured it out.
It's
So why
interesting
can't
you
we do it
assume it's
again?
men.
I'm assuming it's men because you guys are acting as if men are the ones that figure this out. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't
is
tell
we
you you had
have-
to assume it's
we
men.
We have the equal ability. So if everything's shut down, I do think that like in my immediate little village, me and the women around us, I'd lean on the women closest to me and be like, what do you know that I don't? Teach me and I'll teach you what I don't. And some woman hours away from me, which I don't have the internet, so I can't communicate with her, she's doing the same thing with the women in her immediate surroundings. And eventually, you're right, it might be a blackout period like we're cavemen first, or cave women for a second. But I think that we are smart enough that we can learn and figure it out and teach each other. And eventually we can rebuild society because eventually, like at one point in time, this society was built in the first place. Why can't we rebuild it again? Why are we so stupid we can't figure it out? You're right. I don't know how the electrical grid works, but I do believe I could learn if I tried.
I believe you.
So,
But
thank
that's
you.
not.
Like-
But that was never the point of my dispute. So, if we,
The point of your dispute was, can women survive without you? I think initially we wouldn't know what to do, and then I think
Nope,
we'd
that
learn,
wasn't
and
the-
we would know how
no.
to do it. I don't wish to live in a world without you guys. I
is it-
really don't.
Can I talk?
I wasn't done talking.
How
can't
can
talk
you?
when I-
How
my
can
sentence
wait?
is
How
over.
can you stop talking for 5 seconds and then I start and you say I wasn't done?
I didn't stop for 5 seconds. I was like mid opening my mouth when you interrupted me. Like I was actually not done talking. But
Okay,
you can talk
when you're
now.
done
I'm
talking,
My-
let me know.
I mean, if you can read social cues and you're a host, you should know when I'm done talking. But
I
like,
did read the social cue and you said you weren't done.
You read them wrong. You're right. So I told you what you read wrong. But I mean, I'm fucking tired. I'm done. If I was here single, I would be going home now, not because I'm giving up, but because I'm tired.
Well, I'll
like,
move on
and
to that. I'm
I
gonna
just
move on
like,
to
I
the next
don't, I
thing.
feel like I'm talking in circles, and
Anyway, I'm gonna
I
move
have
on to
learned
the
a lot
next
from you guys tonight. I'm really appreciate the opportunity for being able to do this, and some things
Well,
have
you'll-
shifted my perspective a little bit, but at the end of the day, I'm leaving here knowing I'm capable of everything you guys are.
I don't think that was really
So-
our.
That's
position
yeah.
here, but
That wasn't the core of the
anyways,
issue.
Anyways, I will move it on. I want to finally get.